Get ready to make a salt pot. Isn't he cute? Hi, Marie here. Welcome to Pottery Crafters. You found video number 2 in our Beginner Pottery Wheel project series. Today you're going to learn how to throw, decorate, and glaze a salt pot. And yes, at the end of the video, you'll see the finished piece. If you like what you see, please like the video. And if you want to support me or see new videos, feel free to subscribe. And hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button to get a notification whenever I upload a video. Before we get started, here is a list of tools and supplies I use to make the salt pot, which will also be down below in the show notes, along with any other important information I may talk about throughout the video. The tools and supplies listed are only recommendations and are items I use on a daily basis. I'll be starting with the clay already centered, so if you're having any problems with centering your clay, check out the video up above. With that said, enjoy the video and make sure you stay to the end to see the finished piece. Let's get started. Push the bottom outward first to get the size of your base. Then compress the bottom to prevent cracking. While pulling the sides up, make sure you're going slow and steady and allow the wheel to make at least one rotation before moving your fingers upward. And you're applying an even amount of pressure with your fingers. Make sure you have extra clay on the rim to make your dome. Mud tool sponge is perfect for this because it's nice and thin. Get rid of any slip or extra water to keep your sides strong. I'm keeping the walls thicker to ensure the piece doesn't weaken or collapse while I'm making the dome. You can remove the extra clay after it's leather hard. Once you have the desired height, it's time to use the extra clay on the rim. Bring the walls up a little more and collar in with both hands. As you're pulling the clay up, you want to push inward with your outside fingers and supporting with your inside fingers to make the opening smaller. Now collar in and close up the top. As you can see, I'm getting rid of the slip and smoothing out the dome with the metal scraper and making a nice foot with the ultimate edger. Once the clay is leather hard, it's time to trim all the extra clay away. When making the opening, you can draw a circle or use a metal ring like this one. You'll want the hole large enough to be able to fit your fingers in and grab a pinch of salt. I'm using a cleanup tool to cut the hole. You can also use a potter's knife. To make the handle, you have to twist the tubes together while the clay is still soft, or the clay will crack. Then attach the handle to the cover. To complete the salt pot, I'm making little feet to keep the cover from slipping off. After it's bone dry, it's time to bisque fire in my Scut KM 818 kiln to cone 04. This step should never be skipped. Clean your salt pot thoroughly and make sure your sponge is not too wet. Apply a little wax resist to keep any glaze from sticking to the bottom. I invited my friend Sharon over to underglaze a salt pot. The colors I've selected are Spectrum Lime Green and Yellow, and Speedball White, Black, and Melon. Thank you, Sharon, for the underglaze design. It looks great and the face is really cute. Once the underglaze is totally dry, it's time to apply some clear glaze. I'm using Amico Clear Satin Glaze. After pouring the glaze inside of the salt pot, I'm using an Artist Soft fan brush to glaze the inside of the cover. Then switching to the Wilson mop brush to finish the first and second coat. You only need 2 coats for clear glaze. Make sure your salt pot is totally dry and there's no glaze on the bottom or side of the cover before it goes into the kiln for the final firing. I'm firing to cone 5. Let's see how it turned out. Here's the finished salt pot. The face is pretty cute. I like how the handle turned out. The opening is large enough to grab a pinch of salt from. Sharon did a wonderful job applying the underglaze, and the green and yellow blended nicely together. The clear turned out very good also. I think it's a pretty cute salt pot. What do you think? If you have any questions, comments, or ideas for future videos, please feel free to post those in the comments section below. Some of the best tips and feedback come from you. Also in the comments section are more show notes and pottery making info. I hope you've learned a thing or two to make your own salt pot. Click here to check out my ring holder video. Also click here for any other videos from Pottery Crafters. Keep making that beautiful pottery.